Hi, I'm Spencer Williams. I'm the Embry-Riddle men's head lacrosse coach.
I'm Marissa Giannarini, the head women's lacrosse coach.
Well, men's lacrosse, we're pretty padded up. We wear elbow pads, gloves, shoulder pads, and a helmet at every single position. And then our goalies will wear a chest protector as well. And then it differs a little bit in our sticks. Our sticks have a pocket in it, which kind of makes our passes and shots a little bit faster.
Another big difference is we actually start our game with a draw, and in between goals is a draw control. Men's lacrosse actually has a face-off. So that's a major difference as well. The players on the field are completely different. We have 12 players that play at a time, whereas they have 10 players at a time, which makes for just a different strategy and feel to the game. This year, we've moved closer to the men's game in the fact that we actually offer free movement, which means traditionally in women's lacrosse, you stopped on every whistle. Now there's that free movement. It brings us a little bit closer to their game, but again, they're so wildly different. From the calls to the time on the clock to quarters versus just halves. So lots of differences.
Yeah, there's multiple differences. One big difference is on each side of the field, we'll only have 6 on the offensive side playing offense, and then 6 on the defensive side, and then a 7th will be our goalie.
While we have 7 on the offensive side and 7 on the defensive side.
So on the men's side, we have, just like the women, we both have a goalie, but then we'll have 3 players playing defense, that they all have 6-foot poles. So those are longer, and then our offensive players will have 3-foot poles that are shorter. We'll have 3 midfielders who will play offense and defense, and then we'll have 3 attack players who will just play on the offensive side of the ball.
For starters, we have no long sticks, so cut that completely out. They're all around the same length. We have 4 attackers, while we have 3 midfielders and 4 true defenders. So midfielders are going to be on both sides of the field to make up that 7, and then on the defensive side to make up the 7 on the defensive side. So we do not wear any pads with the exception of the goalie. The goalie is dressed very similar to the men's game. They have a helmet, they have a chest protector. They can choose whether or not to wear shin guards. As far as field players are concerned, they wear goggles as well as a mouth guard. Some players, if they choose to wear a soft helmet, can do so, but that hasn't been brought in our game, although they're starting to talk about possibly adding helmets to our game.
So in the men's game, you're allowed to check arms from elbows basically down to the hands and the stick. In the women's, you're not allowed to physically throw a hard slash on those arms and hands. So you'll see in games, ground balls, loose balls that are around, we can be a little bit more physical in our play because we're wearing those pads.
Whereas we have to focus on the actual stick with our checking. So whether they're cradling above their shoulders or below their shoulders, we can throw checks to the stick, but we can't throw checks to the body. We do make body contact with our stick on the girl. I'm sure officials wouldn't like to hear that, but that is actually a part of our game. So there is still a very high level of physicality. The difference is that you can't throw checks to the body in women's lacrosse.
So on the men's side, a common push foul that's not really a big physical play. If you push someone from behind, that would be about a 30-second technical. Anything more egregious than that can go up to a minute. And then we also have up to 1 minute locked in penalties. Those are penalties that are generally forcible contact to the head or neck area, and then that can go all the way up to a 2-minute non-releasable penalty, so we'll be playing man down for that time. And then the last penalties that we have that could be 3 minutes is if our sticks are deemed illegal. And the way they can be illegal is if the pocket in the sticks are too deep, or if the sticks are too long, or if the ball won't come out with ease of contact.
And we have similar, similar types of fouls in minor and major fouls. So minor fouls, it's just a whistle blown, and a player has to step to the side or behind depending on the level of the foul. But if you go up into a major foul, which is considered a dangerous foul, then we go into giving a yellow card with a 2-minute releasable penalty. So what that means is if the 2-minute penalty occurs, and there's a goal by the opponent, then it's releasable and you can go back to being even.
Well, in the men's game, a typical score should be around the 10 to 11 to 12, but you can see games that go as high as 25, 26 goals, and then games could go as low as 4 to 5 goals. So it kind of varies based off of the talent and which side of the ball each team has more talent on.
Ours is very similar. Again, you're kind of looking in the mid-teens, I think, for a regular game. But we've seen, very low-scoring games, and we've seen very high-scoring games, depending upon, how even those opponents are. Everything. We were hired about a year and a half ago to build this program from scratch, and there's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes before we even got onto the field to be able to practice with the teams that we put together. So to watch it from the beginning to where we are now, and to see all of kind of the fruits of our labors coming together, and watching the time that we've put in and the work that these girls have put in, and guys, be able to see it in reality in life that we've been waiting for a long time for. I think we're excited for every first, the first goal, the first assist, the first win, setting those records and hopefully breaking them along the way to get better and better as we go on, but also to prove ourselves in a way that we are meant to be here and compete in a great conference, and that what you see from us this year is just the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. And to echo, it's every first. For me personally, it's that first game. Just waiting for that first whistle. Finally, after a year and a half of waiting and not having a competition, I think both of us had kind of lost ourselves with a little bit of this being our last spring being our first year, not having a game to look forward to. That was definitely a little foreign to me, and just being excited to get out there with the guys and see what the hard work that we put in pays off to. I think there's a lot of work that goes in, as she said, in the background that is really going to be exciting to see what they do and kind of see where this first season, where our steps lead us to.
I can't wait for them to put on their uniforms.